Hey guys, Greg Denning. I've had the wonderful privilege of teaching and mentoring for a lot of years, and I've worked with thousands of youth in several different states, all kinds of different schools, and different organizations, and even in several different countries. And you know how I feel about education. Education is probably the most important thing in life. Educating our minds and our emotions, educating our characters and our souls, and just getting a full, complete education, a holistic education for life, right? It determines every other aspect of life. And unfortunately, there's this kind of this idea, this negative homework. The word homework has a negative connotation, right? And so many young people, even small children, and then of course youth and adults, homework. Oh, I hate homework. I don't want homework. And it's just negative feelings, negative connotations. You mentioned the word homework, people still just kind of cringe and jerk, right? You're like, hey, there's some homework. Oh, wow. I mean, nobody wants to do it, right? And it's terrible. And so I want to challenge you to never do homework again. Okay, you're like, what? Come on, how can you value education and say don't do homework? Well, two things. Number one, we stop calling it homework. If it's valuable, if it's good stuff, don't call it homework. It's not homework. That's as bad as believing in a graduation from education. There is never a graduation from education. So I don't even like to use that word, the graduation, because it gives this idea of finishing, like you're done. Like, oh, I am done now. I can do whatever. And too many people think they got their education. They're done. That's just not true. We need to be lifelong learners. Same thing at homework. There's no such thing as homework. You're just doing your studies. You're just getting your education. It's learning, it's growth, it's improvement. I mean, you love learning, I love learning, right? And so we're always learning. It's not homework as long as it's valuable, as long as it's something that's relevant, something that's important, something that's just good to know, then it's learning, it's education, and we should always be doing it. So it's not like, oh, I only learn at certain times of the day, and oh, and I don't do it at home because that would be homework. No, we learn all the time, everywhere we are. I mean, I've turned my vehicle into a university. I listen to audiobooks constantly. Listen to a phenomenal one today with my kids. And any spare moment, I'm waiting in an office or for an appointment. I have a book, and at home on the couch before I go to bed at night. When I get up in the morning on my desk, I mean, everywhere I go, I'm learning. And so we ought to turn your whole life into education, that you're learning from the people around you, learning from the forest and nature. You're learning from phenomenal books and audiobooks and programs and articles and essays. You're just constantly learning. So there's no such thing as homework in my life and in my kids' lives. I always ask them, hey, it's time to do your studies. It's time to work on your education and do those things. That, hey, you got to do your homework, where it's just I just don't like that idea. You get what I'm saying? I hope I'm clarifying this. I just don't like that idea because it's like, oh, I don't have to do it. I want you to change your mindset and think, hey, this is education. I love education. I love learning. I love studying. And if it's hard, great. It's going to force you to grow and learn and expand your mind. So always, that's the first part. Change your mindset. This is learning. This is education. This is growth. This is improvement. It's something I want in my life. It's something I want to do. And especially with my free time. What better thing could you do with your free time than to learn and grow and improve? Now, the second part of never doing homework is if a teacher or mentor gives you work that is irrelevant or merely what's been called busy work, it's just an assignment just because, maybe it's simply for a grade or just because nothing better to do, shame, shame, shame on that teacher or mentor. There are so many incredible things to learn and do in life. There's just absolutely no reason to be doing something that's irrelevant or unimportant. Okay. And so I mean, and maybe there's a way to talk through that and discuss it and say, hey, is this really relevant? Is it important? Help me to understand why we're doing this. Is it merely busy work? Because I've got better things to do. I got an education to get here. I don't have time to do merely busy work that doesn't matter. It's unimportant. And so go after it. Go after your education. Be excited about it. Don't ever view it again as homework. View it as a great opportunity to learn something new, to exercise that mind muscle and make it stronger and better, to gain a knowledge and a perspective. Again, every piece of information that we can acquire and bring into our lives that's good and uplifting and valuable makes us better and then makes our lives better. Okay, so go after your education. Remember, there's never a graduation from education. It's always be learning, lifelong learners, voracious readers, and curious observers, and make sure you get a world class education. Now, we offer all kinds of great classes and courses at worldschoolacademy.com, especially our leadership series, where it's classical based. We're in the very best classics, the best books out there, and the best readers and writers and thinkers of all times. We get in there and study those principles and those truths, those lessons that will really enrich our lives and help us to reach our full potential. So if you're interested in that, get in there, sign up, join this quest for a world-class education. Reach upward.